The SUV market is supposed to be friendly to seniors. Upright seating, easy visibility, smooth highway ride. But these days, not every SUV fits that promise, and some can quietly drain your wallet while making every mile feel like a chore. So today, we're looking at the 7 SUVs seniors should avoid buying. The ones known for uncomfortable seats, stiff suspensions, rising repair bills, and ownership quirks that turn a simple grocery run into a frustrating experience. Because when you're buying a vehicle meant to carry you comfortably through the next decade, the wrong choice can mean higher medical bills, higher repair bills, or both. And if you stay with me through the list, there's one SUV near the top that looks perfect on paper. Roomy, modern, inexpensive, yet has a hidden ergonomic flaw that mechanics say is sending older drivers right back to the dealership. Let's get started. At number 7, we meet the Ford EcoSport, a subcompact SUV that feels like it should be the perfect downsized pick for seniors, until you actually sit in it. The biggest issue is the seating position. It's oddly high yet cramped, like sitting on a bar stool stuffed into a shoebox. Seniors often complain that the seats lack lower back contour, and the short seat cushions make longer drives feel like you're perched on a folding chair. Then there's the ride quality. The EcoSport's suspension has all the softness of a wooden wagon, especially over broken pavement. It jolts instead of absorbs, which can be a genuine problem for anyone with arthritis, hip replacements, or chronic back issues. But the real surprise comes with the rear swing-out door. Instead of lifting upward like a normal SUV, it opens sideways, which becomes a nightmare in tight parking spaces and nearly impossible to manage with mobility limitations. Here's what makes it even more concerning. The EcoSport was discontinued, which means parts are slowly getting pricier and availability is shrinking. For seniors trying to simplify their lives, this isn't simplifying anything. And the next SUV on this list takes discomfort to a whole different level, not because it's small, but because it pretends to be something it's not. Before we jump to that one, a quick note. A lot of people watching these videos are trying to make smarter car decisions without getting overwhelmed by the noise out there. If that's you, you might like my ebook, Car Logic, the smart way to buy, own, and sell a car without getting taken for a ride. It's just a friendly guide that helps you avoid the most common traps buyers fall into. Nothing pushy, just something that might save you some headaches later. If you're interested, you'll find a link in the description box below. At number 6, we have the Jeep Compass, an SUV that looks rugged and senior-friendly from the outside but quickly proves the opposite once you spend time behind the wheel. The seats are narrow and overly firm, almost like they were designed for style first and comfort last. Seniors often describe them as fatiguing within an hour. And then there's the visibility. The Compass has thick rear pillars and small windows, which means merging and parking take more neck movement than many older drivers want to deal with. Under the hood, the 2.4-liter Tiger Shark engine has a reputation for burning oil like it's a side hobby. Many owners report having to top off between oil changes, and when you combine that with the 9-speed transmission's rough behavior, you get an SUV that's more unpredictable than reassuring. Think of it like walking on a trail that looks smooth from the parking lot but turns rocky as soon as you take the first step. But the part that truly frustrates seniors is how the Compass struggles with low-speed responsiveness. It hesitates, then jumps, making stop-and-go traffic irritating at best and uncomfortable at worst. And the SUV coming next has a different issue. It isn't rough, it's just cramped in all the wrong places. At number 5 sits the Toyota CHR, a vehicle that proves even reliable brands can make a mismatch for older drivers. The first red flag is the coupe-like roofline. It looks sporty, but that low-sloped design forces you to duck your head dramatically just to get inside. Seniors with neck stiffness or limited mobility often describe it as a workout disguised as a door opening. The rear visibility is famously poor, with massive blind spots created by that same styling. The interior is also surprisingly tight, especially the rear seats, where the windows are small enough to feel almost cave-like. And while Toyotas are usually known for ride comfort, the CHR's suspension is tuned to be firm and sporty, which translates into a jittery, restless ride over everyday bumps. It's like rolling over pavement with a pair of stiff boots. Technically fine, but never pleasant. Here's what makes this especially important. Toyota discontinued the CHR in North America, which means parts and support will slowly become less convenient. And the next SUV on our list takes a different route to being senior unfriendly. It tries too hard to feel luxurious. Now, on to number 4. Sitting at number 4 is the Infiniti QX50, a luxury SUV that promises comfort, but doesn't quite deliver it where seniors need it most. The seats look plush at first, but the thin padding and oddly angled lower cushions create pressure points on longer drives. The steering is controlled by Infiniti's steer-by-wire system, which removes the physical connection between the wheel and the front tires. It sounds futuristic, but for many seniors it ends up feeling vague or numb, almost like turning a video game controller instead of a real steering wheel. Then there's the turbo engine with variable compression. It's technologically impressive, yet it has the downside of feeling inconsistent. Smooth one moment, oddly hesitant the next. Repairs on this engine are also more complex and more expensive if anything goes wrong. The QX50 tries to deliver luxury by piling on innovation, but for many older drivers, it feels like sitting in a sleek recliner that somehow still isn't comfortable. And the SUV coming next takes discomfort to a very different place, not because it's high-tech, but because it's simply built too stiff. Before we get into that, let me say something quickly. If you're someone who likes understanding the logic behind good car decisions, not just what's popular, but what actually works in the long run, you might enjoy my book, Car Logic: The Smart Way to Buy, Own and Sell a Car Without Getting Taken for a Ride. It's just a simple guide I put together to help drivers avoid bad deals and unnecessary repairs. If you find these videos helpful, that book expands on the same ideas in a laid-back, easy way, and you'll find a link to it at the top of the description box. At number 3, we find the Chevrolet Trax, older generation pre-2024, the version that spent years disappointing anyone who expected comfort from a Chevy. Seniors often notice the issue the moment they sit down. The seats are small, flat, and shaped almost like cafeteria chairs wrapped in fabric. They offer very little lower back support, and because the cabin is narrow, elbows and knees bump the doors and center console more than they should. The ride is choppy, especially at lower speeds, making rough roads feel like you're rolling across a gravel driveway in a shopping cart. The interior materials are also basic enough to feel cold and uninviting, something seniors notice more during longer drives. The Trax isn't dangerous or unreliable, it's simply uncomfortable and tiring, which is enough to earn it a place on this list. What's interesting is how different this is from the new redesigned Trax, which is a dramatically better SUV. But the model coming up next is a situation where size doesn't equal comfort. It's bigger, but that doesn't help. At number 2 sits the Nissan Rogue, 2014 to 2020. One of the most popular SUVs in the country, but a surprising misfit for seniors. The seats are known for being firm in strange places and soft in others, like a mattress with uneven springs. Many older drivers report hip soreness after longer drives, and the entry height is right in the awkward middle zone. Not tall enough to provide true step-in ease and not low enough to slide into gracefully. The biggest issue, though, is the CVT transmission. Nissan's older CVTs are notorious for developing shuddering, slipping, or overheating as mileage increases. And repairing or replacing a CVT can be expensive, often more than the vehicle is worth on the used market. It's like owning a treadmill that works perfectly until the belt suddenly starts slipping at random. Seniors deserve predictability, and the Rogue's long-term behavior makes that difficult. But the number 1 SUV on this list is the one mechanics caution seniors about the most. Not because of reliability, but because of the way it affects the spine. And at number 1, the SUV seniors should seriously avoid buying is the Jeep Renegade. This is one of the most deceptively uncomfortable SUVs built in the past decade. The seats are upright but oddly firm, with cushions that feel more like stadium chairs than car seats. Seniors with back, hip, or tailbone issues often describe the Renegade as causing discomfort within minutes. The suspension is stiff and bouncy, tuned more for style than for smoothness. Every pothole, speed bump, and crack in the pavement sends a jolt straight through the cabin. It's like riding in a Jeep Wrangler that shrank in the dryer but kept the same harshness. Visibility is also a challenge, with boxy pillars and high windows that require extra twisting to see around. And then there's maintenance. The Renegade shares components with Fiat models, and some of those parts can get pricey or harder to source depending on the year. It's a small SUV with a big impact on comfort, and not in a good way. If you're a senior driver looking for something smooth, quiet, and easy to live with, this is the one that most experts say to steer clear of. But since we've spent the last several minutes talking about the SUVs seniors should avoid, let's shift gears for a moment. Because the truth is, some SUVs absolutely nail the comfort, accessibility, and long-term ease of ownership seniors need. And choosing the right one can quite literally transform your driving experience from tiring to effortless. So, let's take a moment to highlight two of the absolute best options out there, the ones mechanics, physical therapists, and longtime owners all recommend. The first bonus pick is the Subaru Forester, and it's hard to overstate how much seniors appreciate what this SUV gets right. The seating position is almost perfectly designed for aging joints, high enough to step into without crouching, but low enough that you don't have to climb. The doors open wide, the windows are tall, and visibility is among the best in the entire automotive world. It's like driving with panoramic glasses instead of narrow frames. The suspension is soft without being sloppy, soaking up rough pavement the way a good mattress absorbs pressure points. And Subaru's long-standing reputation for reliability gives older drivers a sense of stability and predictability. But here's what sets the Forester apart. The cabin feels calm, quiet, uncluttered. Seniors often describe it as stress-free driving, and that's something you can't fake with options packages. The Forester feels like it was built with real people in mind, not just marketing checkboxes. And the next SUV on this short bonus list offers a slightly more refined take on the same idea. The second bonus pick is the Toyota Highlander Hybrid, which is practically engineered for long, effortless ownership. The seats are wide, supportive, and shaped to reduce pressure on the hips and lower back. Seniors often comment that they feel held, not perched. The cabin insulation is excellent, creating a serene, quiet atmosphere that reduces fatigue on longer drives. But the big advantage here is the hybrid system. It doesn't just save fuel, it makes the power delivery smooth and gentle, like gliding instead of accelerating. No jolts, no gear hunting, no noise. And because it's a Toyota hybrid, long-term reliability is outstanding, often running well past 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. The Highlander Hybrid is the kind of SUV that lets seniors relax behind the wheel, knowing every part of the drive, from the steering to the suspension to the climbing in and out, was built to be easy. If the Forester is the calm and confident friend, the Highlander Hybrid is the quietly capable one who always shows up when you need them. And that brings us to the end of today's list. Whether you're a senior driver or helping someone shop, the most important takeaway is that comfort and ease of use matter more than flashy features or clever marketing. A good SUV should feel like a supportive chair, something you can settle into, not endure. Before we wrap up, I'll give one last gentle reminder. If you want more guidance on choosing a vehicle that won't cause headaches or unexpected expenses, my book, Car Logic, The Smart Way to Buy, Own, and Sell a Car Without Getting Taken for a Ride, dives deeper into everything we talked about today in a calm, simple way. Now, if you want to see the absolute best SUVs for seniors to buy, go watch my next video, 7 Best SUVs for Seniors, Easy Entry, Back-Friendly Seats. You're going to love that one too.